The new record's slightly different actually, because it was kind of more a group effort, I suppose. We went into a little rehearsal room in December of last year and January of this year, and we just tried to kind of hammer out like an album's worth of songs very quickly, because I think it was a reaction to spending so long making The Boy With No Name that we really wanted to get a live sounding, exciting sounding record done pretty quickly. And so with that in mind, it was kind of necessity breeds invention, and we kind of were all kind of involved in the process of getting the songs together.
When you write an album after album, do you have to sit down and talk together to say, oh, let's give that kind of moods to the album? It's just the feeling of the moment.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you give yourself 5 weeks to write a record, you have you've only got a certain amount of songs to bring to the table, and then you work them all out, and that's the way it sounds. But a lot of this record was written on electric guitar, so it's got a bit more sort of electric. Yeah, it's got a little more electric guitar sound to it, a little heavier and more like shh, and it sounds great for that. I think our first album was quite like that. It's quite rocky, but I think this time we've managed to do it with retaining a lot of melody as well, so it's cool.
But when you play in festival like that one, you listen to other band and say, oh, I've never heard about them, and maybe we can.
That's a good point.
Just keep some stuff about them.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely hear little tricks other bands do. Like, for instance, last night we watched Paul Simon playing in this venue, and it was very interesting. One of his guitarists was playing the guitar with a paintbrush. And it sounded fantastic. And I was like, what a great idea! I've never thought of that. So we'll be nicking that. Techniques, melodies. I don't like to steal people's melodies. I think melodies are, and if someone's melody sounds like a melody that we've written, it's always by accident. I like to try and find new melodies. I think that's one of our sort of strongest attributes, is that we write new melodies.
Do you remember the first time you've been deeply touched by an artist?
Growing up in the 80s was quite an interesting musical time, but I do remember the Police being a sort of amazing rock band, and you would think that that'd be a great position to be in one day, be like that, in huge venues. And I love the sound of their records, and I went to see them recently, and it was a bit of nostalgia, but you always treasure your first sort of musical moments.
In other words, it was big disappointment.